In this series I'm taking my 996 Porsche 911 and doing a 991 GT3RS body kit conversion with it. And to let you know, in this episode I have now booked this car in to the body shop, and that's going to be in October. It's now the end of August, so I've got about 4 weeks to get this car totally ready for that body shop. It's nearly there, to be honest, but that was the earliest date I could get. But I've got a list on the board over there, so let's go check out that list. And this is my list. Now, I can't write to save my life, so sorry about the scribbling here, but I can read it. So I've got a few things crossed off. We've seen them in previous videos. So at the moment, I need to bond in the air intake. So these are these things here, which go on the side rear quarters. Now I can't do that until I get them back from the body shop. These are going to be done in a satin black, and I'll be bond them in, but I just need to make sure they fit correctly. So I've got a little bit of work on them just to make sure they're fitting nicely before I give them to the body shop. Now I've got a fixed passenger door mirror. That's just a little bit of work I've got to do on the passenger door mirror. It's just a little bit wobbly. The bracket I made for those, if you remember, look back for a previous episode, is really good on the driver's side, but just a little bit wobbly on the passenger side. So I just need a little bit of bend in that bracket, and that should fix that issue. Bonding the DRL brackets. Now I mentioned that when I was looking at the front bumper, I'm not going to bond them in until I come back from body shop, because they'll just be in the way of them spraying the bumper. Align headlights. Well, I've been waiting for this. I needed to get the long 997 type tool that is used to insert and remove the headlights. The one you get with 996 is shorter. If you remember, 996 headlights have the runny egg part, so they are a bit wider than 997, so you need a shorter tool, and that didn't work on this car because I've got 997 type headlights on it. But I do have that tool, and that's one job I can do. I've got made covers for the door mirrors, so this is where the original door mirrors went on the car. I need to make some little perspex covers that goes over them and give them again to the body shop to do satin black. Now I haven't bought that perspex yet. I'm still looking at that, and that's going to be a job just a little bit in the future, but I've still got plenty of weeks left to do that. Wheel liners. Now I do need to get the wheel liners out of my storage and try them on this car just to see what they're going to work like, because again, if they're a bit short, I may need to use some thinner perspex to elongate those, make them a little bit longer so they come to the wheel arches. Bar wheels, that's a big one there. I'm still debating which wheels to get. I'm not in a hurry at the moment because I can bang on the original wheels to get this to the body shop, so that'll be a post body shop job. High level stoplight. Now that fits into the wing and it is a different shape to the standard 996 high level stoplight. I've contacted the makers of the kit to ask them what stoplight is supposed to fit in there, because the 996 one doesn't. I'm waiting for their reply. Hopefully they'll just tell me which one it is. I go buy one and it fits perfectly in there. I'll just have to do a little bit of wiring. Wiper delete. Now this is a job I forgot about, to be honest, so I just read my board. So I'm removing the rear wiper on this car because you don't have one of them on a GT3RS. So that's another little job we can get done hopefully in this video and get that prepped for the body shop. And the last one on my list here is centre exhaust. So we're going to drive this car to an exhaust manufacturer in this area who can actually make one for me while I kind of stand there and wait. So that's again a post body shop job I am thinking. So there we go. I've got a list of jobs that I can be doing on this car, hopefully in this video, to get it that one step nearer to the body shop. And now let's have a look at these air intakes. Now 2 jobs to do on these. One, I've got to make sure they just fit nicely onto the hole in the actual panel here, and 2, they've got a big hole in them. So I'm really going to have to seal up that hole because I don't want anything going in here, because if anything goes through there, it's going to end up in inside my rear wheel arch. So that is going to have to be sealed. And when I bond these on, I'm going to have to bond all the way around to make sure they seal this hole up. But initially, let's just try the fitment. So fitting them in, they do fit fairly well, but what we do have is problem down here. This is sticking out, just sticking out a little bit at the end here. And what it is on the inside of this, there's just a little bit of a raised edge, so I'm just going to sand that down a little bit. I'm going to mess around with this just so it fits nicely. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to get some clamps and do some test clamping of how I'm going to do this when it's come back from the body shop, because I can't bond these on until after they've painted the rear quarters. Otherwise they'll just be in the way, because these need to be a satin black colour, so they're going to have to be painted separately. So let me get my clamps and we'll test clamp this. quite happy there. I think that's looking okay. And what I'll do, I'll probably put a piece of wood on the day between there and there, just to push that in to get the good bond at this side as well. That's that side, happy with that. So when we get back from paint shop, we can bond that on. Let's go check the other side. Yeah, fits a lot better, I think. Yeah. And that's that one done as well. Happy with those now. So that's another job ticked off the list. On to the next one. Right, so this is the job I've been putting off for a long time now, and that's looking at these headlights, because they're a bit of a pain in the backside. But I did manage to get the tool, which is a 997 headlight tool, because obviously these are more like 997 headlights now, and the one that you get with the car is only about that long and will not work on these headlights. Now, I had a little play off camera, and I've managed to get this one headlight here fitting absolutely perfectly. So that does fit nicely, and the tool does work. So the tool does fit into there, and you can get it on and you can release these lights and you can pop them in and out. But as for this one is a pain in the backside. This is the closest I can get this up to now. I don't know what's gone on here. I just need to mess around with it and get this fitting better. So I'm gonna have a little play around with that and see if I can get this fitting better, and then when I do, I'll show you the results on camera.
3 hours later.
Oh my God! After about 3 hours, and I mean 3 hours, I've now got these lights lined up. It took a lot of faffing about with these little light trays on these inner part of the wing. But let me show you on this light over there how it works correctly as it should on a real Porsche 911. So using the correct tool for a 997, we can see that if we just give it a turn, you hear that snap sound, which is what you want to hear. And if you turn it a bit further, it pops the headlight out just like it does on the real one. And to put this back together again, all we need to do is push it right home and turn on the tool until you get that snapping sound. And that snapping sound makes me very happy, because now everything's working on the front, the lights are fitting nicely, and the lights themselves all work main beam and high beam as well. Absolute great job, so pleased with this one. So that's that job done. So now I'm going to use this little thing here to get rid of this rear wiper. And we begin by removing the wiper. So the next job is inside the car. All you need to do to remove this rear panel is to just get your fingers under this edge here and pull it towards you. And there's a bunch of clips that should pop, and then it comes off like that. These are the clips here. Now these clips should remain inside this part here. If they don't, all you need to do is pop each of these clips off and just pop them back in where they came from. And that now reveals our wiper motor in this position here. So what we can do is we can unplug the actual motor itself. And what we need to remove is 3 bolts, one there, and the third one is just tucked in the back down there. We've got to get this spindle out of the hole. So if we just get it off this side here, rotate it forward, and you should now be able to just tilt it, and she should come out. Back on the outside, let's get this bit sorted. So first of all, you're left with this rubber grommet, so we need to remove that because we don't need that grommet anymore. And that now leaves you with that hole, which we need to fill. And that's where this kit comes in handy. So what you get in this kit is you get the blanking plate, so that's going to go from the outside. This is going to go on the inside, like so, with the rubber grommet and then the metal washer, and then it's all going to be locked together with this nut on the end. Right, if you look at here, this obviously is the hole where the wiper was covering, but inside you've got this inner skin here. Now, looking at this washer that I get supplied, that will not go inside that inner skin. So we've had to devise a cunning plan.
I have a cunning plan.
And this is what we're thinking. If we remove this higher level brake light, with the use of a long screwdriver like so, we should be able to attach the washer to the end, poke it through there and hold it just underneath of that hole. So step number 1 is we need to remove this rear light. Well, that's easily done. So all we need to do is just using a pick, remove this plastic cover, and using a flat screwdriver, just twist this 90 degrees. and then again use a pick to go in this hole that's provided here and pull it out, and that comes off nice and easily. Remove the wiring and get that out of the way. Now the theory was this screwdriver, if I push that in there now, as you can see, that does appear in the hole there. So I think we're on a winner.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner!
So next job is we need to tape this washer onto the end of that screwdriver. Right, so test number one. Let's just see if that, turn the other way up, will go towards the hole we need it to be. Yes! I can now assemble the two parts like so to go through that hole. And now if I go inside now, and hopefully I should be able to offer that up and we can get this tightened up. Here we go. And now the theory is, if we just remove this screwdriver, it should bring out the tape. Whoa! And there we go, so that's the blanking plate in place. So now what we need to do is go back inside and replace that rear panel. I'm just gonna lay that in a position where it's opposite each one of these. You also have a defined ledge here where the bottom of the panel goes into. So therefore it should be a dead simple by just lining it up exactly where it came out of, like so, and pressing it back. Job's a good one. And that's it, so now we have the rear wiper deleted, and this makes the rear end of this car look a lot more sporty, as it should do. So next job on my list was try and get this frunk release working, because for some reason it's just not working from the switch. So I've got to find out, try and diagnose and find out why this isn't working. So let's check it out. First of all, I need to get to the mechanism, and that means removing this part of the frunk. So let's remove this cover so we'll get better access. This gives access to the mechanism here, which is all part of that frunk. Right, so obviously this is controlled by the panel here. I just want to make sure where this was plugged in. So I'll just remove this and we'll have a look. Oh, you are kidding me. Oh, brilliant, look at this. What an idiot, what an idiot. This is not plugged in. Don't tell me this is going to work. Could this be one of the easiest fixes I've ever done? Let's try. Plug that in. Have a listen. Are you ready, everybody listening? Can you hear that? Oh my word. We are on. Right, let's see if that button now releases the frunk. Yep, let's come up on it. And it has. Look at that. She is released. Well, I've got to say, for once, that's one of the easiest fixes I've ever done on this car. On to the next job. So having now put all this back after fixing the front clip, I remember I've got all of these panels here, which are the ones that go under the bonnet over there. And these all need to be test fitted, so let's see if we can get these fitted and just see what we need to do. So now we come on to this panel, which is going to cover all of this area here. Now, this is obviously from a 996 and ain't going to fit perfectly with this 991 front bumper, but you know what? It fits quite well, but what I'm going to need to do is, this bit here went up the 996 wings, so I think I'm going to chop it off there, so it just goes level with the end of my wing here, and we may need to just take a little bit off round here just to get it round that corner. So let's mark that up with my pen and we'll get chopping. Right, there we go, that's another job ticked off. Right then, back to the board. Look at all the crossouts we've got now. Absolutely fantastic. So I've only got a few things left on there, and some of those are post body shop, so I can't do them now. But I think maybe one more video on this before it goes to body shop, where we just actually finish off the actual final little things. So that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you do like this type of video, then give me the thumbs up for this one, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, because it really does help with the analytics and helps me to build this channel, and I'll be able to do bigger and better things for you guys to watch. Thanks for watching. Till the next time, stay safe.